Okay, good morning. We're very privileged to have two guests with us here today. The Head Master of DBS, Mr. Ronnie Cheng,
Hi.
and the
Morning,
President
Alastair.
of DSOBA, Mr. Jerome Leung.
Good morning.
Thank you for being with us, both of you. We just want to ask you a few questions about the last year, and we've prepared some questions for you. And perhaps I will throw the first question to the Headmaster. Headmaster, President, 2019-2020 has been an extremely challenging year for Hong Kong as well as our school. Can you share with us what your motto has been in leading a school through these stormy waters?
Well, the motto that immediately comes to my mind is what binds us together is much greater than what divides us. And looking back, every incident, every challenge that comes up or that came up, we tried to find a precedent, we tried to find a way to tackle it in the past, and we found nothing. Another term that always comes up is, that always came up was there's no playbook to this. And so we need to tap into the wisdom of everyone in the community, the teachers, the students, the parents, as well as the old boys. So what binds us together is much greater than what divides us.
Absolutely, well said. President, what are your views on this? What has been your motto in sort of helping steer us through this?
Well, for the Old Boys community, this year we have a saying, we are stronger together, meaning that togetherness makes us more strong. So with that motto, we're going to go ahead and leap into next year, because next year will be a very important year for OBA. It will be a 100th anniversary. So we will use that motto and continue with that thinking.
Yeah. It's beautiful. So we've got a theme around togetherness here.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you about, President, what has been your most memorable events over these past 12, 18 months? And why are they memorable to yourself?
Well, as you know, Alastair, 2020 has been a very challenging year for most of us. OBA didn't really have much activities that we can execute or to put up for old boys to enjoy. But the most memorable event that I can remember is we went to Kobe to join this competition called Sing and Pray, Kobe. And Headmaster has graciously led us and conducted us in that competition. And we came out winning the whole thing. So we were champions there. So that is very memorable in a way because it was so much fellowship, so much brotherhood in there. It spanned it from old boys from the 70s all the way to the
20s, early 20s.
Early 20s.
College.
So, yeah, so maybe.
But absolutely, I agree with that. If you think about when Kobe took place, it was at the beginning of the year 2020, and in January, towards the end of January, and that came came right after the social unrest, and then right before the lockdown from the pandemic. But like Mr. President said, in the choir, we had members who were in their 60s, 70s, and then we had singers who were in their early 20s, freshmen in college practically. But and they came from different backgrounds, but they all came together with one goal. Obviously, we were very happy with the results, but the process was extremely memorable. Everybody was focused. They worked very hard, but they also had a lot of fun along the way. Some had too much fun, but
would you like to share some of that fun?
I don't know about any of it.
What happens in Kobe stays in Kobe.
I guess certainly I'm hearing a theme come through, that fellowship and togetherness for the school and for our community. Now, Headmaster, you mentioned about COVID. COVID-19 has been a global pandemic. It has been very disruptive to everywhere in the world, including Hong Kong, as well as our school. Can you share with us some of how has COVID affected our school? In terms of our activities, our teaching, or even sort of what has it meant for our students or our staff?
Definitely. Once again, no playbook for this, right? No precedents for this. But it's a real testimony to teachers' adaptability and our students' resilience. We went from students staying in school practically 12 to more than 12 hours a day, going in class and then to training and competition, to zero. But we maintained the fellowship and we maintained the contact with the students by adjusting immediately to online teaching and learning and some online training, as well as coming together to fortify the holistic development of the kids by pushing out a series called DBS Boosters, where teachers come and share their insights on different things of their lives, different aspects of their lives, revealing sides that maybe students were not able to see before. But so some shared their artwork, some shared their culinary expertise, some boosted the students' physical fitness by demonstrating, different types of physical training. And so it kept the community together. And in a way, we're physically separate, but, spiritually more together in a way.
That's certainly hearing a lot of innovation in those and bringing people together. President, what are your views? How about the old boys? How has the old boys community sort of come together in this?
Well, as you know, the Old Boys Association is usually pretty active in terms of activities, plans, and everything. But due to COVID-19, we didn't have much chance to really get together that much. But that didn't really deter us from not meeting or not planning ahead as to what we can do in the future. So we did have a lot of Zoom meetings, a lot of virtual meetings to really talk about if this COVID thing finished, what can we do afterwards? If this, a lot of if-then statements, plan A, plan B, plan C. So everything's intact.
Yeah.
That's how we communicated among our old boys. And we look forward to next year, see what happens, how this...
Yeah, but even during the pandemic period, the old boys helped out a lot, especially on campus, where Mr. President rallied the old boys, especially the DBE chapter.
Yes. We have different chapters in OBA, and one of the chapters is called DBE, Design, Building, and Engineering. So they're mainly architects, designers, environmental study personnel. And what they did was they came to school and assessed the school drainage system, the exhaust system, and make sure that all the air around school is purified, is not contaminated in any way that that could be possible. I mean, as you know, our bathroom is it smells quite good sometimes. So
exotic smells.
So the DB chapter made sure that everything is intact in school and gave a report back to a headmaster.
Oh, yes, indeed. And even though, as Mr. President said, there were very few physical activities, the old boys still helped out a lot through online means, especially training our boys in tertiary institution interviews, giving them opportunities as interns, and then giving insight to different professions and different universities, and so keeping the boys engaged and helping them plan for their future. So we're grateful to the DSOBA and Mr. President for helping out.
Thank you, Master.
Oh, it's lovely to hear about some of how our old boys support our school during this challenging time, not just during the pandemic as a one-off and you have a rallying call, but also as an ongoing, as a headmaster mentioned, regarding sort of university interviews and the support there. It's beautiful to see that. If I were to ask both of you a question, what is the first thing that comes to your mind in the last year that truly embraces the spirit of the school or our old boys to our community? Would you be able to share some of our thoughts with us? I know this is an impromptu question, so they didn't get a chance to prepare for this.
It's hard from the school side for myself to come up with one incident because there were so many cardiac moments. And the nature of the social unrest such that nothing is pre-informed or scheduled, and suddenly something would happen at night, something would happen during the day, and we'd all have to scramble to respond But we're grateful to the community for coming together to constantly maintaining contact. I think what differentiates us, the diocesan community, and other communities is that nothing has, at least from what I saw, nothing has ever deterred us from engaging in conversation with each other. And because, like I mentioned, we're from 8 houses and we're from so many different backgrounds, professional backgrounds, and we have different insights, that every challenge that came up, there was some insight, or there was bound to be communication to find the best way to weather the storm. That is not to say there were no conflicts. Like everybody else in Hong Kong, we're deep into this social unrest. But I think, by and large, a vast majority of us, were determined to protect the Hill and protect all the citizens in the community. And to me, they never gave up looking for solutions. And we're still trying to find the best way forward to keep this community stronger together, as Mr. President so nicely said.
Okay, like I mentioned before, that the DB chapter came to school and assess all the drainage problems, exhaust problems, like that. But besides that, we have other chapters that had really contributed to the community during this very trying period. For example, the medical chapter, doctors, yes. A lot of old boys are involved in teams going up to China, helping them, or has this interaction with other medical areas that to help prevent or how to assess the COVID-19 situation. So a lot of old boys really involved in that. These are really unsung heroes. And in terms of other chapters, they are doing whatever they can to really enhance the community happiness in the community. But if you ask me again, what's the most memorable? It's really the Kobe experience that we had, because there's so much spirit, so much fellowship, and I think it really ignited our brotherhood within such spectrum of half a century of brothers. Yeah. So that's really memorable for me too. So.
Great, thank you both. I think certainly we're hearing a familiar theme coming through of togetherness and unity, and certainly that is very important in our times like these. Just finally, as a closing, can I ask the headmaster and president, is there a message you would like to provide to our DSOBA audience going forward, looking forward to next year?
We have lots of activities planned for next year. Hoping that the COVID will be ending soon so we can go ahead with our normal planning. Next year will be our 100th anniversary for DSOBA, as Head Master mentioned. We have lots of celebrations going on. We have one per quarter. So first quarter, we're going to have an inauguration dinner. And then second quarter, we're going to have our own DSOBA credit card launching party. And third quarter, we're still deciding what we're going to have. We don't know yet. And then the fourth quarter will be the centennial dinner celebration, which is going to be huge. So, so I look forward to seeing all the old boys there at this this centennial dinner. And remember, stronger together, guys.
Well, thank you very much for both Headmaster and President for joining us today. And we look forward to a full year of activities coming up in next year. Thank you very much.